The big challenge is to maintain the issue on the top of the agenda for us, because obviously the passage of the bill was a landmark event. So it goes down. There's a danger it might go down the political priority listing, and it's important that it doesn't, because the tobacco legislation that was brought in 10 years ago has had a lasting impact, and I would like to see the Alcohol Act having the same impact.
The pressure that the industry has put on us as we were coming and trying to get the bill forward, I think that is not going to go away overnight. And I think we have to be really alert and awake to that and to keep up the pressure.
3 challenges: implementation. This is the halfway point of a marathon. There's lots of work still to be done, and the second half of the marathon can often be the hardest part. So we've got to continue to work together to ensure that the vision that's outlined in the Act actually is realised.
In terms of challenges, I think the biggest challenges are around protecting our children. Our children in Ireland, I think, are done a great disservice by their early exposure to alcohol, by the fact that half of them have been drunk or very drunk by the time they're 16 or 17, and by the fact that many of them have alcohol use disorders in their late teens and early 20s. So I think focusing on children, to me, and protecting them from alcohol is a very important thing to do.
Well, of course, enacting every single piece of the legislation is going to be a challenge. However, it is legislation, it is now the law, and there will be every effort, I know, made to try and thwart it, but I have every confidence that it will be enacted, and every piece of it will be enacted, and I think that's something to look forward to.
The big challenge for me would be our relationship of alcohol in relation to children. If we look at the advertising of alcohol, how insidious it is in the connection to sporting events, in particular the sponsorship. If you go into schools and talk to children about their favourite ads, they will regularly cite to you about alcohol advertising. So it's that insidious nature of alcohol in children's lives, and then the hidden harm of alcohol. So we see domestic violence in the home, we see child abuse, and we need to make sure that we do have those links to alcohol and that harm that it is directly impacting on children's lives.
I'd say the big challenges will be, I suppose, the obvious ones, which is to have these measures implemented. So all of these technical issues around minimum pricing and the labelling, all of the stuff that's in the bill still has to actually happen. So I know from my own experience in politics and in government, you can put material down in legislation, but then it actually has to be made happen. But I think it's a huge step forward. And the fact that it's now law will trigger, I think, even more advances and even more progressive action in this public health area, particularly dealing with alcohol.
This isn't over by any means. I think you can always be sure of one thing, that the alcohol industry will come back and fight again. That's why we have to be ready to fight back. The challenges as well would be in the implementation of the bill and the policing of the bill, because you have to police this properly for it to work, you know, and it will be up to successive governments to carry this through. This is a foundation, let them build on it.